In this video, I'm talking about a secret of Tantra. There are many people who practice Tantra nowadays, or who think to practice Tantra nowadays. May it be Hindu Tantra, or Buddhist Tantra, or just some kind of wellness Tantra that they think is some way for well-being and health and happiness or sexual pleasure. And there are many misunderstandings about Tantra, because Tantra is a discipline of Krishna, Buddha, that is linked to Dharma practice. Dharma is the teaching of Buddha, and without true and pure Dharma practice, Tantra cannot be approached. Tantra cannot be practiced, and Tantra will have no effects if Tantra is thought to be practiced without Dharma. And Dharma teaches love and compassion, great compassion and loving kindness for all sentient beings, for all sentient creatures. So, if someone lives a loveless life and a life without devotion to the Dharma of Buddha, which is the Buddha himself in the form of his Dharma, then Tantra will have no good fruits, will have no effects, will have no bliss, and brings no happiness, because the karmic law is active always, constantly, and everyone is subject to karma, everyone is subject to his or her own karma. What someone works, what someone thinks, says and does has karmic consequences, entails karmic rewards or karmic retribution. So, a person that wants to practice Tantra needs to take care, meticulously needs to take care of his or her own karma, to have good karma, to be a loving person, a compassionate person, a giving person, a person of peacefulness, to have good karma. And by love and by devotion to the Buddha and to the Buddha's teaching, to the Dharma, which is a teaching of non-hurting, non-harming, and of compassion, great compassion and love for the sentient beings, to their benefit and for peace, universal peace, and peace of mind, and purification of mind. Such will produce good fruits that will be experienced by tantric bliss. Tantra does not mean that you are allowed to drink alcohol or to eat meat or to indulge in sexual immorality, but Tantra means that you use your sensuality as a sacrifice for the Buddha, as a way to act upon the Buddha's Dharma and to attain bodhicitta, the mind of enlightenment, and which is in connection with great compassion towards the sentient beings, and to obtain anuttara samyak sambodhi, perfect enlightenment in the knowledge that everything there is that is conditioned is subject to impermanence, death, decay. It is selfless, it has no self, and it is not lasting, it is impermanent, it is empty. But to come to the knowledge of the Buddha nature, one needs to practice Dharma, and by this practice of Dharma, in great love and compassion, in non-harming of sentient creatures, but in producing good fruits of benefits for the sentient creatures, in love, one can attain to Buddhahood of great merits for the sentient creatures, and such merits will have wonderful effects and wonderful blissful states of trances, and also of sexuality. Sexuality in itself is not bad at all. It is something pure if it is performed with a pure mind. But that does not imply that people can be adulterous, that they could indulge in adultery, to have sexual intercourse with the spouse of another. This is forbidden by the Buddha. This is against the 5 precepts, and this must not be done. Equally, you must not eat meat, you must not harm animals, you must not harm sentient creatures, and meat eating is harming sentient creatures because you're causing their killing by your meat eating and by your consumption and by your support of the killing industry, of the slaughter industry, which is the meat industry. You should not support such killing. You should not support the meat industry, which is a killing industry. This is wrong. Equally, you should not indulge in drinking alcohol. You should not be lying. You should not be stealing. You should not commit adultery, that is illicit sex. You should not be forceful in sexual relationships. You must have a mutual agreement with your sexual partner in love to have sexuality together. Otherwise, this is illicit sex and it will entail bad karma. So, no harming of sentient creatures, no killing, no lying, no stealing, no alcohol consumption, no intoxicants, that includes drugs that are illegal, and no meat consumption. This is really important. This is according to the Dharma of Buddha and according to the 5 precepts that he has taught, of which the breaking entails very negative karmic repercussions, very negative karma that will come to fruition in the future, and this is manifold. It will multiply. The effects of karma in this life will multiply in the life to come and in the lives to come. And the consequences of your actions that you've committed here in this world will be multiplied in their effectiveness as to whether you will be reborn in good, wholesome, blissful, and happy states of rebirth after your physical death, or whether you will be in pains and in suffering, in torment, in hellish states. In the hells, there are many hells, there are equally many heavens, there are different states of being, 6 realms the Buddha taught, and you want to accumulate good karma, and this is a secret of Tantra, to practice Tantra effectively, successfully, and to come to the enjoyment of tantric bliss. Otherwise, it is impossible. Otherwise, it has no effects. Otherwise, you will feel not much difference. And I would like to tell you this because people just play around with religion a little bit here, a little bit there. They just want to have well-being. They want to be well, happy, kind of physically well. They consider it to be like a sport or something like that. But the Dharma of Buddha is not like a sport that you can play around with. It is the teaching of the all-knowing one, and he has taught the Dharma to help people and sentient beings to be happy and not to accumulate bad karma and not to come into the states of woe. This is what I would like to tell you today, and thank you for listening. Om Mani Padme Hum. I am Kali Child.